Hello, everyone. We are back. We are back. We are back with the What Would My Daddy Say show. Hey, Daddy.
Hey, babe, how are you today?
I am doing good. How you doing today?
Good, thank you. Hey, audience. Hey to our
Mhm,
audience.
mhm. Hey to our
How's
audience.
everybody? How's everybody
How's
today?
everybody doing? Right
Hope everybody's having a wonderful day
in the neighborhood.
in the neighborhood. Yes.
Yes. So, Dad, one, we had a
Hey,
great conversation last week. I'm so grateful. Um, got a lot of feedback. A lot of individuals said they loved the show. It was good. What do you think? You did
I
good. You think
thought
you
I
did
thought
good?
we did really well. I was very pleased with our.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
I,
got some
I just
feedback. I got some of my friends was amazed or encouraged that
yeah,
we did good.
yeah. So I decided to bring you back to share with my
Okay,
friends. Okay.
thank
So
you.
here's my question for today, Dad. Before we go into our discussion, let me see what my question is today. Um, do you think we're really ready for our relationships? My question of the day is: are we ready for our relationships? I'm asking this seven. Hey, you guys, but wait though. I should have put. My dad's birthday is what, Saturday? Not this
Next
Saturday, but
Saturday,
next
next
Saturday,
25th, the
right?
25th. Yes,
The
yes.
25th. And so you want to tell them how old you'll be?
I'll be a big 7-2, y'all. I mean, just a good. So thank God for 72 wonderful years. He's been awesome, awesome. God has blessed me, truly kept me, and I'm just thankful and grateful. And looking forward to seeing that 72nd birthday, and with some
Yeah.
nice gifts coming from my children.
Well, you better shoot them your cash app because
Yeah,
I don't know
okay,
what.
okay, big. Well, you
Okay.
know my cash app is
Oh,
always up
wait.
there.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna shoot them. We're gonna shoot them your cash app. But listen,
Okay.
from a 72-year-old who's
Yeah.
had all of these experiences, I just want you to think about: are we really ready? Are we really ready for our relationships? But before you answer that question, I just want to encourage the audience: make sure that you follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get the alerts for our show. Right? Make sure you go over to that Elevate in Life with Sheila Little Facebook group at Elevate in Life. Life is an acronym. It's for our love of self, our interactions with others, our focus and our energy, right? If you haven't
Hmm.
already joined that relationship challenge, Daddy, we got that stopping our workshop on Monday. But
Yes,
every
yes.
day I'm dropping dimes in this group on the things
Yeah,
you need
girl.
to stop
Yes,
so you
yeah.
can have the
Promote that
relationships
thing.
you
Yeah.
desire and deserve. And as always, comment, like, and share, right? Make sure you ask my
Make
daddy
sure
some
you share.
questions.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Dad, back to my question.
Hmm.
Are we really ready for our relationship? So what's your answer to that?
Well, and thinking about that daughter, and just sitting there thinking that when you ask that, and you hold me up for a second or two. I honestly, babe, I think the honest answer to me is no. I don't think we truly are, because I think it's so many, and the reason why I say that is so many distractions. I think people want to be, we want to go back to the, you know, I just say women, for instance, want to be like, like mom used to be. They want to, when mom would come home and prepare meals and have
Okay,
dinner
okay.
ready
Well,
for dad.
we're gonna get to why. We're gonna get to why. We're gonna get to why. So
Okay,
because I got
okay,
some questions for you
okay.
kind
Well,
of.
I guess my answer would be I don't know. I don't think so.
No, you don't think so. Okay. And why is because you think that women is trying to be
Well,
what?
I think we are traditional, as as we had talked earlier. I believe traditional has a lot to do with a lot that we are going through now. We are trying to be more traditional, and traditional is out the door now. We have to. There are so many things that we have to adjust to on the fly now, and that's from relationships to the job to the workforce. I mean, everything has to be adjusted now. We can't do traditional anymore.
Well, I mean, that's going to be my next question. Do you think that there are any traditions that are getting in the way of our relationship? So I heard you talk about what you talk about the woman thing. What kind of
Well,
traditions do you
women feel like they have to try to be like mom used to be and prepare meals and well, okay, maybe I said that wrong. Women don't necessarily think that, but men feel like that's what a woman should do is have
thank you
dinner
so
ready.
much.
Yeah. And
Thank you
so,
for
but in
saying that.
saying that, yeah, okay, but in saying that, he can't have that anymore, babe. Women have more work going on outside the home just as much as the men. So they have jobs and they have careers and they have babies to raise. So they can't do the traditional prepare meals and take care of the
Mhm.
house and then go out and do their job and then take care of their man. It's just we put too much of a load on them now. They can't. I
Mhm.
don't think that's. I don't think it's. I think there are too many distractions nowadays. Those are the traditional distractions that are there that makes it hard.
Yeah. So so one of the traditions, what I'm understanding you saying, is this tradition that the woman still needs to be the homemaker when you have a non-traditional home where both people are working, right? And that
Yes.
can
Yes.
be an issue when you're trying to develop a healthy relationship because you're requiring more out of her in a
That's
non-traditional
right. That's
relationship.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is there
That's
any
right.
other traditions, Dad, that you think get in the way
Well, and
of
then and then us men, we come home from work and we want to sit around and have a beer and we don't want to. Dad used to get up and help mom though. He would go out and have the yard ready to do the. But men are not. Men are not. Men are not. We're not doing our part either to make that easy for the woman. Okay, so
Mhm.
the traditional stuff is. I think it's really out the window because there are too many distractions now going on. So we can't do tradition no more. That's just to me. That's how it go. We just can't do traditional anymore because there are too many things going on. Too many distractions. Like I said, women have their careers are just as more or more happening than men. Men they go to work and that's their thing. That's all they do. So women got they go do their job. They come home. They got to take care of the house. They got to take care of the babies. They got to cook the dinner, and it's asking a lot.
Well, Uncle Jimmy agreed. Uncle Jimmy said there are no traditions these days. Simple, right? So
Okay.
Miss Kim said, as much as I desire the luxury of relationships and marriage, right? I'm
Hmm.
really, I'm really in need to heal and love me the way I desire before I require it from a spouse. What do you think about that?
She's really in. Say that
She
again,
really
Miss
needs to
Kim.
heal and love herself the way she
Hmm.
desires before she requires a spouse. What do you think about that?
Okay.
Working on
Yes.
you
Okay.
before you
Hmm.
actually
Yeah.
get in a relationship. What do you think?
I
Do you
think
think
Miss
that that
Kim is. Yeah. I think Miss Kim because listen, if you don't love yourself first, though, Miss Kim, I think that's one of the things that we are falling short on is making sure that we are taken care of before we try to uh, integrate a spouse or a partner into the mix. We really need to know where we sit, and I agree with that 100%, Miss Kim.
right? So what about the tradition of, get out, get married, have kids? What about the check boxes? Get out, get married, have kids, all of that. Do you think that tradition is getting away? Do you think that in our minds, like as women and men, if I ain't 30 and I ain't married, if I ain't 40 and I ain't married, if I ain't 50 and I ain't married, that's getting in the way of developing the type of relationships that we need to be healthy because we're just focusing on the traditional get
Hmm.
married? Do you think that's a tradition that's getting in the way of our relationships?
I truly,
Because
what
I
I
mean, when my
think,
grandma was younger, they got married. My grandfather and my grandma got married at 14 and 15 years old. She got pregnant. Guess what? You go marry. I think that happened to you, right? Like
that's it.
in
17,
these
I was, yeah,
situations.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think, daughter, I think, we had this conversation before about I think that everybody should go ahead and get their careers in order, get established on their jobs, and then decide whether they want to integrate a partner or start a family. Because what's happening is we are allowing. See, when you let careers and stuff get in the way, now you interfere with. This is why relationships are falling apart, because there are too many distractions. People are not. I really think if you get married before 35, 40 years old, you're really doing yourself an injustice. Go ahead and get established, get yourself established, get your job established. Now listen, if you want to start some babies, raise some babies, then that's fine. Go ahead and get married at a young age, because 35 or 40 is a late start on raising babies. But if you want to start a family, then go ahead and get yourself a nice husband or wife, and then y'all can start your family. But somebody got to be dedicated to being the house, the leader in that house. So normal in the traditional ways, it was the man that will go
Mhm.
out and make the money and allow the woman to stay home and raise the kids. But that's out the window now, because like I said, most women are pursuing their own careers now, so they really don't have time. And I think this is where our young folks is getting away. Now we got to bring in daycare and babysitters, and then we bringing in people that are not truly concerned, because once you leave home, you don't know what's going on in your home.
Right. And I think that, well, my mama had my grandmother, right? You had your grandparents. Like the breakdown of the family is that
Yeah,
family dynamic is different, right?
right.
So that is breaking down. Well, my mama couldn't do, my grandma picked up, but now if you got grandmothers that's not as present because they are in their
that, that,
careers, right?
that, that is that
And they have
exactly.
their lives, then you don't have that family structure. So one of your recommendations is for younger people is to marry later and just go
Married
to
later that way, yes. But get established, get yourself established first. So
Mhm.
you will have your priorities in order. You will know that, okay, I go to work, I come home, I got, my babies is here, or like I said, if you want, if you're gonna start a family, that's different than I'm speaking on people that are not ready to start their family yet. You know what I'm
Right. They
saying?
haven't had a
That's more,
family yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Because
if you
if
got
you haven't
family
started
though,
a family,
yeah, wait until you decide to do that. Because listen, and most people, most of us get caught up because we get babies at young ages, and then babies take precedence. And once your child come into play, you really your life is kind of put on hold now.
yeah. And I think that's a difference, right? Back in the day, that was the president's, right? Like, you got pregnant, now you got to get married, and now this baby got to be taken care of. And nowadays, it's like, well, I'm pregnant, but I'm still going to go to
I'm gonna do
school,
my
have
thing.
my
I'm gonna go.
career, and
Yeah,
I'm
that
still
was,
going
it
to,
don't.
and
That
I'm going to
was.
grow with my child, right? So Miss
Hmm.
Sharon said, so true, right? I have a question from Miss Alicia Green, but before I get to her question, Don Lockhart says self love is needed in life before you can truly love another person in life. That is so true, Don. All right. So Miss Alicia Green has a question. She said, hello, y'all. I want to ask why a lot of men don't have the desire to teach their young sons things like changing tires and fixing things around the house anymore.
Yes. Well, Miss Alicia, is
Alicia
that
Green.
her name? Miss Alicia, and I'm so glad you asked that, Miss Alicia. Listen, Miss Alicia, for the last five sessions, we've talked about is our young men are being failed by their older, by the dads and the uncles, and the traditional stuff that Miss Sheila was just telling us. We are not presence enough in our. Listen, our young men don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to go catch a fish. They don't know how to shoot. I mean, they know how to shoot a pistol, but they don't know how to go out in the woods and kill some game because nobody is teaching them anymore, Miss Alicia. We have dropped the older men have really dropped the ball when it comes to teaching our young men how to be responsible young men, how to lead the house, how to be the head of the house, go out and cut the grass, to change the tire, or go wash their wives or their girlfriend's car and go over and wash mom's car and cut mom and dad grass so mom don't have to worry. We don't teach that anymore, Miss Alicia. That's why.
Right. But why though? But why do you feel like that's not being taught to our young sons anymore? Why is that
Okay.
not being taught?
Well, me and your favorite conversation is our favorite. My favorite line to you is always is because being receptive. Listen. Let's just say we got a 10-year-old now. We got a 10-year-old. He ain't even most of the time he ain't even paying mom and dad no attention because you don't put the computer in his hand or the video games, and so he ain't paying dad and there no attention anyway. And dad, he busy. He got his video games in the other room doing the same thing his son doing. Instead of taking, come on here, boy, let's go out here and cut this grass. Let's go out and learn how to fix this lawnmower. We just don't do it anymore, daughter. We have gotten away from the teaching aspect of how to raise our young man.
Okay. So do you think that it's that generation that doesn't know how to teach the so is the grandfathers coming in and doing what they supposed to do, right? Is the grandfathers coming in and teaching the kids, or is the fathers coming in and teaching the kids? Like, is it a skip in the generation that is not being passed down?
Well, I think it is. I think it is. My generation was more on hands because my son will tell you that. Listen, my dad had me in the woods. We went fishing. We went hunting. He learned me how to play ball, how to run. He took me to the basketball court. And our young man really, unless he got a star athlete coming up, he's really not into the tradition of teaching his son how to be more on hands. Because listen, 90% of our young men are not going to make it as an athlete anyway. So, in saying that, we need to teach them how to be more on hands in the household. How to even in the kitchen. My mom taught us how to wash dishes, how to make a bed, how to mop a floor. Women don't. We don't even think to do our young men like that anymore.
Okay. So Miss Connie said yes. Miss Alicia agrees, a generational gap. And then a Facebook user said again, tradition is gone. They're taught to pay someone to do those
Right.
duties. And Miss
Exactly.
Sharon Brown came on and said some men wasn't raised by their dads, mothers, or grandmothers. They raised them. My husband's stepfather raised him. Okay.
Yeah.
So she
Okay.
said her husband's stepfather raised her. So I'm agreeing with you. So I said I was always, and you heard me say this. I'm raising fathers, husbands, and men. So my kids
Right.
know how to cook at
That's your goal. That's
14.
what you always say.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's your goal.
14, 18, and 21. They learn how to
Right.
cook. They know how to change a battery. They know how to take out the trash every time it's a
Right.
plumbing issue. Because I'm like, I'm
Right.
not raising babies. You gonna be somebody daddy. You gonna be somebody
Yeah.
husband. You gonna be
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
father. And you gotta
That's
be
right.
a man one day.
That's right.
So I
That's
can't
right.
raise no babies over here. And I think if more of us, and as a single parents, what do you think about this, Dad? Because as single mothers, the access to male role models in our young man's life,
Mm-hmm.
positive. And I ain't saying positive like, you know, suit and tie, booted up,
Right. That's
but just
right. Right.
positive, that can say, hey, come here, let me pick you up to, shovel the
Take
snow
you.
and
That's
teach you how
right.
to
That's right. That's right.
do this
That's
tire or something like that,
right.
access to that.
I
What,
think you know what I think though, daughter.
what's
See, a
that?
lot of us blame the fact that the man ain't in the household. Listen, I didn't have a man. I didn't have a man in my house. My mom raised me. Okay, so now
Mm-hmm.
listen, and I'm not because all men ain't like that, but we so used to using that as an excuse. I just heard you say you're raising men. You're not raising women. You're raising men
Mm-hmm.
because you are hands on as a mother. You still have to make sure that your men know that it's a man's job to go and cut the grass or shovel the snow, to take out the garbage. That's what men do. You as a mother gonna make sure that your men know that though. So you don't have to have a man in the house per se. Now listen, because so many relationships or or just separated nowadays. You know, that's the one thing we have done as family now. We'll just split apart. It's more of single women leading households than men now, and some
Mm-hmm.
men are doing it on their own. So it ain't no such thing as it take two to do it anymore. That's out the door. So we can quit that
And,
because
and what I hear you debunking that, or what I hear you saying is a single mother can put
can
some
can
requirements because you was raised by a single mother and your single
that's right.
mother raised not
Taught me.
just
That's right.
you, taught
That's
you
right.
some
That's
other requirements to be a man, but you feel like this narrative of, oh, a single woman can't raise a
yes.
man
That's bull. That's
is just
mess.
being used, and so many people are using that. But you was raised by a single mother, and guess what, it's a lot of great men out here who were
Raised by
raised by
yes,
single
yes, yes.
mothers.
That's
Okay,
exactly
I'm glad that
right.
you said that, Daddy. All right.
And
So
something
again, if
else,
you okay,
I just wanted to point out something else is listen, in order for your mom to raise you, listen, your mom got brothers, she got uncles, she got there, and let's put it on the table, daughter. It used to be a community. The village could help raise your child. Now, listen, your next door neighbor don't want you to tell your child, don't throw that rock over there. Don't do this. Don't climb my fence. You know, we get mad when our neighbors chastise chastise our children for doing wrong. And these are part of our problems though. We're allowing, this new generational stuff is just so messed up. This is why our young men are so messed up nowadays, because you can't do it by yourself, baby. You gotta have help. You gotta have help raising those men. But you got granddads. You got the boys' granddad on their dad's side, the granddad on my side. You got uncles, your brothers. They all play a part in that now. But everybody ain't got that, baby, because they don't want nobody to tell their child when they're wrong.
right, 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 right. You're right, Daddy. I mean, I can't say nothing. I'm gonna go
I'm
to the
just
next question. I'm gonna go. I mean, because this is not the conversation, but I'm going to entertain this for a minute because I
okay,
think
okay, okay,
because
okay.
Uncle Jimmy say Mr. Frank, society, Mr. Uncle Jimmy
Society.
say
Okay, okay. I'll go
okay,
with that, Uncle
society,
Jimmy. You
yeah,
know, Uncle Jimmy, you always on point. That is exactly right.
yeah, society. But I mean, have we become such a fearful society? I mean, back then you could trust not even that people back then intentions was good, but what is like we've become such a fearful society at the same time to trust our kids in the hands of the teacher or the neighbor, or we don't know these people, and even the people that we knew even back then so much was happening. And I'm not saying
Yes.
that this is right or wrong, but again, is this one of the traditions of that's holding us back from having healthy relationships? Like I hear you always talk about, what, back in the day, you know, the the neighbor could have spanked me,
Yeah.
but now
And
if
one
you
no
had a
problem. No
child
problem.
right now, it wasn't no problem. But I'm gonna ask you a question right now. If your
Mm-hmm.
grandson, I had a baby, and
Right.
that baby was running up the street, and the
Right.
neighbor 3 doors down for you saw your grandson running down the street and grabbed your grandson and spanked their butt, how would you feel as a grandfather today?
Me personally, I wouldn't. Now listen. Now that because
No,
that's a trick
I'm
question.
asking. That's not
Okay.
a trick
Okay.
question. That's
Yeah,
not
it
a
is.
trick
Yeah,
question.
yeah, it
No,
is. Yeah,
it's
it is.
not.
Yeah, it is
How would
because
you
here's
feel today?
today. Today,
Keep
I
your
probably would
hands
put.
off.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would say, hey, hey, let me, I'll take care of it. I probably would say that because listen here, and here's the thing. See, I heard you just say that our neighbors. Listen, most of the time you live in a neighborhood, you know those people probably better than anybody because we live in the same neighborhood 15, 20 years now. So you saying your neighbor can't tell your child what not to do?
I just asked you that question.
Well, I
I got
mean,
a
I'm
baby. He running down the street. I just
that right.
asked you that question. I got a
Yeah,
baby. He running down the street. The neighbor that you know, that
that
you've
I
been in
know.
this community for 20 years, grab
Yes,
your
yeah,
grandson, grab
yeah,
him by the hand, spank his
mm,
butt. You see him. You see
yeah.
this neighbor grab your grandson. How you gonna feel about that?
What
You.
is he? What is he spanking him for though? What is it? Just for what? For just running down? No, no. I mean, if my grandson doing something out of character, my grandson done cursed one of them neighbors or done did threw a rock through the window or did something
Yeah.
crazy, I would have no problem with that. So chastise my child. I ain't saying you got to whoop him, but chastise him, put him in his place, or bring him to me. Even
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking, Daddy. I'm just
Okay.
asking.
Well, because see, that's
Those traditions are over. He must
yeah,
have deserved it. Those traditions are the tradition is over. He must deserve it. That's what Uncle
yeah.
Jimmy
Well,
said.
because what happened, Uncle Jimmy, is you know yourself that your sister don't want you to whoop her child. My granddaughter, my daughter would probably have a problem if I, because I'm old school. I think if you mess up, you get it. My daughter would probably be like, Dad, well, I'll take care of him, Dad, because my daughter believes in timeouts and shit. I mean,
I
stuff that
do. I
and
do believe in
timeouts and mess
timeouts.
that don't even stuff that don't even make sense, Uncle Jimmy.
I do believe in timeouts. So let's go
Okay,
to the next question, Daddy.
okay,
Okay.
okay, yeah, yeah.
So now that whole conversation, let's go close that book,
Okay, okay,
open back up this book on relationships. Okay. So the opening question was, are we ready for relationships? Okay.
right,
So I
right.
want to ask this question. So does the truth create more harm? Does the truth hurt or just harm you? Does the truth really hurt or does it just harm you?
Baby, you are asking some powerful questions tonight. Now listen, truth always supposed to be the best way. But listen, because we as and Uncle Jimmy I always say men, but I'm talking both species now, men and female, males
Okay.
and female. We don't accept. We can't accept the truth very well nowadays. You question your man or your woman about, why was you talking to that guy? Where was the conversation, babe? Why was you questioning that woman? It was the conversation. Why did you look at her? Well, I mean, I have eyes, I see. So I think the truth is the best. It's always the best way, but nowadays it's almost like we gotta tell little like lies sometime, babe, just to get along.
Just to get along. So Uncle Jimmy said thank you, just so we know. So you feel like you gotta tell white lies to do what now,
Just to get along nowadays. Because if I tell you the truth, I tell you, listen, babe, I seen a girl today, man, and she was nice looking, and we had a nice conversation. You ready to kill me? And all I said was, we had a nice conversation. It could have been about you, though. It could have been about my wife at home, and I have such a beautiful lady at home, and we just sitting there having a nice conversation. And I come home and tell my woman that, man, I probably can't even sleep in the bed tonight. I got to sleep on the
Daddy?
couch.
Miss Alicia is laughing, and I'm laughing with Miss Alicia. So you feel like these little white lies,
Yeah,
these
sometimes necessary, sometimes are necessary.
these little white lies are necessary to do what? To prevent the hurt and the harm from happening, Dad?
Well, just to keep peace in the home, just to keep peace in the home. What? Why
Uh-huh.
was you late? Why was you late from work today, Dad? I mean, babe, why was you late today? Well,
Uh-huh.
I stopped with the fellas and we had a couple of beers and
Mm-hmm.
now, or rather than say, I probably would come home and say, well, I had a flat, the car broke down, or I stopped by my brother's house. Something that you would accept better than I stopped
And
and
you
had a couple
stopping at
beers.
your boys with the
Yeah,
boys.
yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. So Andre
Especially, and wait,
laughed,
and
LOL. Andre
especially
laughed.
if my boys, especially if my boys is a single boy.
Mm. Wait, hold on. So are you telling me that if you got off work,
Yeah.
you stop by your friend house, and if he's single, quote
Yes. Yeah.
unquote,
Well,
you
yes.
definitely have to.
Tell
I'm
a
with
little
you, Miss
life.
Connie. You definitely got to tell a little white lie, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes. Yes. Because she ain't gonna.
because
She ain't
is
gonna.
it because you feel like women can't handle the truth,
Well,
or because
but
you
listen.
can't handle? Okay, I'm listening.
Listen, when I leave home, when my baby at home, when I leave home, my baby at home, I'm coming home to her. When the night's over, when the evening's up, I'm coming. So you don't have to worry. If I stopped in and was a house full of women, you still ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, every man can't say that, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I'm
some of us are enticed by women. Women entice men, especially when they see a man in a good relationship. You know, we don't talk about this too. It's so many miserable folks out here that they want to start. If they see you happy, your happy home, they want to break up your happy home for some reason.
Well, Miss Connie said, "Little lies become big lies, Dad." And Andre said, sounds like he's saying that the females might be insecure. I'm gonna touch on that, Andre, because we gonna get there. And then,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Uncle, Uncle Jimmy
Uncle
said,
Jimmy,
"Now I disagree with this one. Thank you, Uncle Jimmy. I'm telling the truth. I don't even look no more." That's what he said. He started laughing. So,
that's why. That's why, because he said he don't even look. Yeah, well, he gonna go home and tell that lie that he don't. He go home and say, I don't even look,
he got
babe.
the little laugh. He got the little
Yeah,
laughing
yeah,
faces on there.
that.
Derek Bird put the thumbs up. Okay, but listen, Dad, I'm gonna go back to Andre comment. Oh, so Miss Connie comment was little lies become big lies, Dad.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
okay, I'm listening.
the reason why I said that, Miss Connie, is because I made it very plain that telling the truth it's a dangerous game nowadays. And I'm talking about, okay, I stopped at the fellas and they had some girls over, and that's gonna get me in trouble, Miss Connie.
Uh-huh. Miss Connie, we waiting for your response. Miss Sharon said, "Tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the truth. She'll set
Right.
you free. You have to be honest and open." This is Miss Sharon. But I'm gonna go back to Andre comment because Andre said, "Sounds like he's saying the females might be a little insecure." No, what it sounds like, yeah, I think he's trying to say the females are insecure, but what it sounds like is that the men just can't tolerate like a woman having her response, like whatever her response is. It's like you trying to control. Okay, so you gonna go have the drinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna
Right.
go drink, hang out with your friend, and you want to control the whole dynamic. So you gonna come home and tell me a little white lie to
Right.
control how I respond too. So you just trying to control the whole situation for your benefit. That's what it sounds like to me.
You
That you
remember
just
last
trying to
week,
control trying to control the narrative to me.
but
That
you
don't have
remember
nothing to
last
do with
week
my
when we talked
insecurity.
about
Okay.
when we asked the audience to chime in last week, because see, this is where we have problems at, daughter. We are not. Now, me and you talk about this all the time.
We do.
Honesty is always the best. Honesty, we done made that plain. Honesty is always the best way. But
Mm-hmm.
honesty get us in so much. Do you know honesty break up more marriages than lies?
Well, listen. Oh, let me go back because you wanted the audiences chime in. So Miss Sharon said, "Now that's a cover up, right?" Miss Connie said, "You are right, Sheila. Thank you, Miss Connie." Okay, and Miss Sharon said, "Me, Miss Connie, there you go, Connie. That's what Miss Uncle Jimmy said. There you go, Connie." But wait, so you saying that the truth is
Mm-hmm.
what broke up the marriages, not your behavior?
More
Wait,
marriages
wait,
than lies. More than
hold
lies.
on.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, wait. Hold on. I'm just
Okay.
listening. The truth is what broke up the marriage, or was it your behavior that broke up the marriage?
But well, the truth, I told the truth about my behavior, so it was both. But me
Uh-huh.
telling the truth is what did it. Because if I had just said no, I was just hanging out with the fellas. I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you would have just went on and told the little white lie, then you wouldn't be
Yes.
in this
Yeah, I
situation, and you
wouldn't
would have
even
went
be.
on
She'd
with
have
your
went on the
friend.
bed. She'd have went on the bed, fixed my dinner, and everything would have been good.
Everything would have been good. Okay, so Andre said, I can't argue with you. Men don't want to deal with all that feedback. We just want stuff to be smooth and peaceful.
Smooth. Come
Okay.
on, Andre. Come on, Andre. That's right.
Yeah. So Uncle, I guess it's Uncle Jimmy and Connie. So Connie says no to Uncle Jimmy. Okay. So Andre says you just want to avoid the conflict, avoiding the
Conflict.
conflict.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's
Confrontation.
right.
So okay, so this goes back to my number one question: are we really ready for relationships? I mean, if in a relationship,
Yeah, girl,
if
you
in a
just did it again. Yeah.
relationship, my mate can't go
Mm,
out, don't feel like he can go out and hang out with his guys and have a beer
right.
because that is a part of his relief. That is a part of,
It's
what
fun
he needs
evening.
to do,
Yes,
his
yes,
fun
yes, yes,
evening,
yeah, yeah,
right? He don't feel
yeah,
that. Like, I
yeah,
mean, is that a dynamic in the relationship that needs to be discussed?
yeah. Let me say this right there, babe. Because listen, when my girl and her friends come over, babe, we're gonna run out to the mall, babe. We're gonna run down to the bar and have a couple of beers, or we're gonna go bowling. Whatever y'all. Go ahead, baby. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you when you get back. That's
Mm-hmm.
my response.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna miss no rest. I'm not gonna be blowing up her cell phone. I'm not gonna go looking for her. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
expect her to go and do just what she said she was gonna do.
Okay. All right. So you saying that's what you expecting back from your mate when you
That's what
say,
I would want from my mate. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
okay, and
That's what
but
you
why?
call a good relationship. That's what you
That's what
call a
you
good
call a
relationship.
good relate. So that's what I'm asking. So are we ready for relationships if we can't have open communication in that way? Now I
Yes.
remember me telling you this about friendships, and I mean maybe the audience is going to get on me about this, but one of my things is I don't mind my mate having friends, female friends,
That,
whatever, because that
that's
he
right.
came
You
to
said
me
that.
with
That's
a
right.
collective, right? So you
Yeah.
came to me with friends. It's not
Mhm.
my responsibility to tell you who you can talk to, who you
Yeah.
can't talk to. If they're going to stop talking to you, that's going to be some decisions that you make, right?
Yes. That's
And
right.
if a part of your day is drinking, or this friend that this
Yes. Yes.
girlfriend that you talk to, that you talk to about your emotions, or this homeboy that you talk to that drink, and then I come in and I amputate that relationship, but I don't
Right.
have the tools to
Yeah.
replace that,
Right.
right? I don't have the
Yeah.
tools to be her or him. And a lot of
Right.
us are coming into relationship amputating parts of
Yes.
people,
Very much.
right?
That's right.
But we
That's right.
don't have the tools or the wherewithal or even how that person impacted that. Like, that individual, and we're coming in like cutting off everybody, like, oh, I'm here now, you gotta leave,
Yeah.
I don't want you talking to this person, you can't do that no more, you can't do this no more. But mind you, the person you fell in love with had all of these things in place, right?
Before
So
you
now
got the shares.
before
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got there, so that's
Share.
that
Yeah.
person was a consequence of all
A
of these
vital part of
things.
my life. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but
Share
when we
that.
come
Share
in,
that. Share that. Share that. That situation we had. Me and you and my friend came from out of town a few years back, and me and you were here, and she came in, and my phone rang. Share that with the audience and tell them what I told my friend.
so do you want me to tell the whole story or just that part?
Just hit the main
Okay.
points on. My dad was
So
friend
my
came
dad
in.
friend came into town, and I was encouraging my friend to be honest. Like, you need to
Yeah.
be honest. You got friends. You are a product of your friends. You are a
Right.
product of your environment. These friends that you have make you the Frank that you are, right?
Exactly.
So
That's right.
his friend came in, and I know these individuals, and these are female friends, but I know how my dad feels about these female friends in his life. But he really was uncomfortable, like kind of what he's saying now. I don't want to tell that or whatever. So his phone rings. The friend comes in like, well, I'm uncomfortable with you talking to these women. And I'm looking at
Yeah.
my daddy like, okay, there you go. What you finna say? And my daddy said, I'ma have friends. I'm gonna
I
have
had friends.
friends.
I had friends before
I
you
have
got
friends
here, though.
before you got here, and I'm gonna continue to have friends. And
Uh,
I just feel like that's something we don't understand. We are products of our environment. When you met me, these people are in place. If they're going to leave my life, it's going to
yes.
be a decision that I'm going to make.
I
You don't
decided.
have to
That's
make
right.
that
That's right.
decision for me. All
That's
right.
right. That's right.
All right. So, got a couple of comments over here I want to say. So, Uncle Jimmy says, so you rather live a lie to be comfortable? Mm.
Well, and that's not what I'm saying, Unc. I'm just telling you that sometime. Now, Andre just told us, man, we trying to avoid conflicts as much as possible. I want to have a good night tonight. I don't want my woman mad with me before we even get in the house good. Now, if I got to sleep on the couch tonight because I'm gonna just tell that little lie and go to bed and have me go to sleep.
Corey said, tell the truth, change your actions so you don't have the white lies. Take her with you to have the drink, Dad.
Okay, well
Wow.
now see now we done went a whole different place though, Corey. We wasn't talking about that. We were saying if I'm coming home from work and I stopped and had a drink with the boys and come home and my woman want to know where I been or what I did, why did I, and I tell her, well, babe, I stopped with the fella. Now she mad. So let's understand what we're saying, Corey.
Hold on, wait. One, that was not the question. The question was, does the truth hurt or harm you? You
Yeah,
brought in the scenario like, oh, well, you got to do the white lies because
yeah,
women
yeah.
can't
What the
handle the
truth?
truth.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I did
Okay,
that. I
so
did that.
let's go back on the woman's side. So what if a woman felt like that? How would you feel if women just? How would men feel if women just did white lies?
Well, I told you what I want my woman to do, though. See, we got to learn how to be trustworthy. And if you in a good relationship, man, every time my woman go out that door, I'm not finna run her down and call her phone and be bugging. I'm gonna trust that she's gonna go and enjoy herself and come back home to our family like she left. That's what I'm
Mm,
gonna. Now listen, like I said, you gotta have a honest and trustworthy. We do not, me and you done discuss honesty. We know that honesty is always the best key. I told you that 2 weeks ago. I clarified that if you honest when you come into the relationship, be open and honest with that person.
right, right. But you the one just brought up white lies, Daddy, and you just
But I
justified
said
a
white
lie.
lies keep. I said white lies keep down mess.
Right. And Miss Connie said, white lies, little lies turn to big lies. That's what she
That's what
said.
Miss Connie said. That right.
Yes. So now, and I think every woman on this podcast, and y'all give me some hearts, know that little lies turn to big lies. Because if you're going to lie about going out with your friends at the bar, what else you lying about? That's what we thinking. Now, if you just gonna lie about going out
See,
to the
yeah,
bar,
yeah.
then
That's
what
why.
else you lying
That's
about?
why.
Give me some hearts, ladies, if y'all know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, right?
That's
So
why Uncle
yeah,
Jimmy. That's why Uncle Jimmy, you're gonna get that little white lie to keep that mess down. That's why you're gonna get that little white lie, cause you ain't gonna I ain't gotta go through all that. I'm just listen, I stopped and my brother then was there.
oh, that's
We
why you got
said
the flat tire. That's why you got the
yeah,
flat tire. Yeah,
that's it.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So a Facebook user, I think Miss Kim said they go both ways when it comes to hanging out with my male friends. It goes both ways when I come to hang out. Just I didn't just say I didn't just say who they were because my husband would have been hot. So
Yeah,
I think she
yeah.
said it goes both ways. When she was hanging out with her male
Thank you,
friends,
Miss
she would
Kim.
just
Thank
say,
you, Miss Kim. That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
See how
So she
that now
made
you
that
see how that
comment
went? Huh?
so she made that comment earlier up there. So she was on your side. She said it goes both ways. Her husband would have been
Yeah,
hot if he would have known that she was hanging out with her male friends.
right.
I'm just saying
So
that
so
okay.
listen. So the moral to the whole story is we gotta learn how to trust one another, believe that. Listen, if you in a committed relationship, you mean your woman or your man can't go out and have a drink with his male friends from work or her male friends or his female friends. Come on now, let's be we got to stop being so insecure and so childish about these things. That's where the problem starts at. Honestly, that's the problem
Well,
right there.
that's good. That's good, Dad, because I think that brings me before you even go there. So that's gonna bring me into my next question. Let me get to this next question. Where is it at, Sheila Little? What is the silliest thing that you think people have experienced in a relationship?
Now you see, you when you ask,
I'm just saying.
because listen, okay, I said, baby mama, daddy, baby mama, baby daddy dramas, drama with baby mamas and baby daddies. Because listen, I got me a new wife over here, a new girlfriend. You history. Now we got children, and our children can come and go when they get ready to our home. So it should never be. But I see so many people make issues and argue. Well, she can't tell my son. She can't tell my daughter. She can't change my baby's hair. She can't. Just silly stuff that don't make no sense, though. If I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, my woman can do with my child because I know she's not going to harm my child. So it's whatever she does, my child's going to fall in line and be a part of this family, just like he's a part of his family at home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So the silliest thing that you see that happen in relationships is between exes with the kids, like how they
Yeah,
try to handle or use the
yeah.
kids as pawns. You
Trying to
mean?
come to run. Yeah, trying to run that house of the ex, trying to run the ex's house. Silly stuff that don't make
Mm-hmm.
no sense.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna go back to this one because Miss Kim said she didn't mention. Miss Kim said she didn't mention she didn't lie, right? So I'm
Right.
thinking she's saying that Miss Kim said she just didn't even say that she was hanging out with her friend. She just didn't
She
say
said
it.
what? She said what?
Miss
What
Kim
Miss Kim
said
said?
she didn't mention. So I'm gonna go back to Miss Kim comment. So Miss Kim said, I'm gonna go back to Miss Kim's comment. There
She
goes.
said,
This
okay.
goes both ways. When it
Hmm.
was
I can't tell my husband.
when I hung out with my male friends, I didn't say who they were because my
That's right.
husband would have been hot. So she just said
Right.
I'm hanging out with my friends. So she just
That's right.
omitted information. She
Oh,
didn't
maybe.
just
Yeah,
make up
yeah, yeah. Okay,
a
okay. I
whole lie.
understand. Same
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Same thing. Same there.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So okay. So let me go back to this.
That was my opinion on that. On
Okay.
that, what the little silly stuff that we allow to distract relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my little things, arguing about the children and who can and who can't test. The new girlfriend or the new boyfriend can't tell your child, look, listen, this part of our family. My child is here for life. My new girlfriend is here for life. Your new husband is there for life. You mean he
Mm-hmm.
can't tell our child how to
Mm-hmm.
can't discipline our child for doing something that's out of character? Come on now, let's little
Mm-hmm.
silly stuff like that is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So the silliest thing you experience is just the whole thing with the baby daddy baby mama dynamic. Do you think people do that though because that's where they have the control at that? Now again, if you guys have questions, make sure
Comment.
you
Yeah, yeah,
comment and ask
yeah.
questions. Okay.
All right, yeah, all right. Well, I think
Miss
that's.
Sharon,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Miss Sharon said the silliest thing happened in our relationship when we were hanging out at a party. A young man tried to get my attention and threw a paper at me, and it hit my husband, and that was crazy. He was mad the whole night.
I know he was. He should have got up and whooped his ass. I mean, whooped his butt. But
Lord, okay.
I'm just
So,
saying because that was so silly of him. How ignorant can we get though? That just goes to show you sometimes how we get as people though. How ignorant was that?
what him? He was trying to get her attention, Daddy.
Well, he could have waited till the man left or something. That was just dumb. He needed to get smacked in the mouth.
Lord help him, Jesus. Okay,
Yeah.
so you think silly things like? Do you think? Oh, this is gonna be my question. But do you think when that happened with the baby mama, baby daddy stuff, do you think that's a form of people trying to use that as control?
Yeah, power. It's a power play. It's a power
Yeah,
play. It's
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
because now the kids can't come over no more because your girlfriend. um change my baby's wet diaper, or my girl your girlfriend said we was going to dinner and I wanted him to be more whatever it was though, babe. We cannot let these things be a distraction in these relationships. This is what listen, me and you ain't together no more. So when I come to get my babies, you know I'm not gonna harm them. So whatever goes on over here, just let it go. Because when they go over your house, I'm not coming over there with no mess unless somebody done threaten to kill one of them. Then I'm coming to see about
Mm-hmm. So, Miss Alicia said sometimes the situations get out of control with exes and kids because of the way the man handle it. Mm.
you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Miss Kim said yes, it is, and they still feel for the other. They still feel for the other person. And then Miss Sharon's like right about the beating the little boy up, beating the person
Mhm.
up. But listen, I think she said right about her comment. But listen, I do feel like it's a form of control. Can you hear me, Daddy?
I hear you, babe.
Am I echoing?
No, you good. You good on my end.
Okay. Y'all let me know if I'm echoing in the box because I'm getting some feedback. But a lot of times, I do feel like that's the only place though where we can exert our control. Now we talked about the family dynamics earlier, and a lot of times when we use that, we actually start to break down the relationship of the parent-child dynamic, right? So when we're
Hmm.
interfering and we start to use the kids as a pawn, now the father may not come in and be as present, or the mother may not come in and be as present because it's so difficult, to get the kids, or I can't even go out on a date, or the baby can't even come over because she gonna be tripping. You know what I mean? When we just can't just allow people to just be them. Like he wouldn't change the diapers when y'all lived in the house together. So you already know the diapers ain't gonna be super duper fresh and clean. The baby go over his house
Unless,
because you know him.
unless, unless, that's exactly
Yeah,
right, babe.
yeah,
Unless that woman
yeah,
helps out. So
yeah.
you know, I mean, those are that's just some of the things that I find that are so childish and so unnecessary that we would allow that to be. Because, like I said, you want me to come and get the babies, and then when I come and get them, now you're going to tell me how to run my home with them or what to do with them. Come on now.
Mhm. So y'all put in a post some of the silliest things that you've had to experience in a relationship, or some of the silliest things that you think happen in relationships, right? Mr. Don Lockhart said, "My wife and my kids' moms are great friends and even
Exactly.
take trips together with the kids, And this is
Yes.
one thing
Yeah.
I admire about you, Dad. Like you have always had a relationship with your wife and kids and grandkids, and just always have been able to uphold that relationship,
No matter.
And I
No
I,
matter.
I seek to do that, yeah, no matter what. All right, next question. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. What is gonna be my next question? You ready, ain't you? All right. So, what are the best qualities in a woman, Daddy?
Wow. Well, let me say, look, listen, I think a woman's qualities, I don't think that was the question you asked me
That
earlier,
ain't the
but
question. I still got that question. It's tucked
okay,
back
well,
there,
the
but this
best
is a different
qualities
one. Yeah.
in a woman is her ability to communicate. I like what the last commenter said, that his family can get together and they can have fun and laugh and enjoy their friends. They are
Hmm.
friends. I think
Hmm.
that is big. That anytime a woman have the ability to not worry, I'm not worried about whatever went on in the past. I'm not even worried about that. So
Hmm.
if my woman is cool enough to accept whatever decision my husband make or my boyfriend make, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
So if she
Yeah.
got that quality to be able to just understand, and I guess that would be understanding that sometimes
Mhm.
situations or certain situations are called for, and a real woman is not going to have a problem with that, though, babe.
Right. Right. Okay. You know that term "real woman" and "real man." So I'm gonna ask you this one then. Well, what is a woman's superpower?
No. Now we on national TV, so we don't want to get into. My mom always felt like a woman should never go hungry, never be broke, never have nothing because she has the power.
Mm-hmm. Well, what
So,
is a woman's superpower, Dad?
well, I mean, the woman herself, just the woman, the woman herself, and all that goes with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
so, 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 in saying that, you got what it takes to keep a man in control, keep him out of trouble, keep him at home. You got just what it takes to do that. If you doing what you're supposed to do and handling it right, you're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
have no problem. So that's a woman's superpower. Just being a woman, just being a
Mm-hmm.
real woman.
Right. So Mr. Don Lockhart said, "Love, honor, respect, wholesomeness, taught to me at a young age from Miss Lockhart." Right. So,
Okay, okay.
all right. So, and I asked this question because I think that women feel like, okay, what's my superpower? And sometimes the things that we have been deemed our superpower, like, oh, love him,
Mm,
forgive him,
well,
if it's,
that,
be
uh,
with him, like, sex him, right?
uh,
All of these things that we feel like our superpower, even in some homes. I don't know about the women in here, but some homes, it's like, every woman has, the same thing. It don't make you no special.
that's
You ain't
right.
special
Same
in no
thing.
other
Same.
woman,
That's
right?
right. That's right. That's right.
So,
That's right.
is there an element that makes, is there a superpower that a woman has? Is it her ability to communicate, her ability to
Yeah,
be soft spoken, her
yeah.
ability to, you
No
know,
win. No win
yeah,
to.
no
When not to.
timing. Is
Yeah.
there a
Yeah.
superpower that a woman can tap into? Her nurturing spirit, right? Is there
Yeah. Yeah.
something that a woman can do that's
Yeah.
outside of the traditional what
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
think that,
Listen.
like, oh, your superpower is
Yeah.
sex,
Yeah.
or to put, or
Yeah.
whatever,
Uh,
outside of that,
yeah.
since we on
Listen.
national
Listen.
TV, you so funny.
Baby, a woman, a real woman, just be a real woman. A real woman understands, she communicates, she know when to and when not to. She allow her husband to speak if he has to speak. If a situation come up, I have to wait for my husband to get home before she make that decision. Just be a woman though. And it works both ways, babe. Just be a man. If you're a man, a
Well,
real
that was
man
my
is not
next
gonna
question. Hold on, that was my next question. So then, what is the man's superpower? Because we always
yeah,
talk about these women that's disrespectful, don't know how to respect men, and
right.
all of
That's
this.
right. Yeah,
So, what
yeah.
is the man's superpower then?
Same scenario though. Be a man. Just stand up and be a man. Listen, being
Well,
a
what
man
does
don't
that
mean
mean?
but that don't mean that it's not meaning you lead your household. Listen, the word says if my man follows Christ and I follow him, when he make
Lock
his
it. I'm
decision,
sorry.
I know he's gonna do it based on the right thing. Listen, you met a guy that you liked it well enough to make him your husband. So he had something that you liked it about him. So now, if he's being that man that you fell in love with, that's supposed to be enough right there, babe. I mean, you don't want him to be somebody he's not.
Hmm. Okay, so Don Lockett, I'm sorry because I was saying Lockhart, but it's Lockett. It said love, honor, respect, wholesome. And then Miss Sharon said being a woman, daughter, sister, and wife is her superpowers. Okay. Now, you just said that respect, being a man, and we hear these terms and they're so general, right? They're so
Right, right,
general.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think the other night I said, I'm like, Dad, like, what are we doing as human beings? Like, are we depriving each other of attention? Are
yeah,
we
yeah.
depriving
You
each
said,
other
yeah,
of our
yeah,
presence? Are we
that's right.
depriving each other of physical touch? Like, what is going on? We have to be able to tap into our superpower, our divinity, or something, because
Yeah,
it's something being lost in the
mhm,
human, in our exchanges, that's keeping us stuck on this device,
yeah, yeah,
scrolling, and not,
yeah.
wanting to gaze into one another's eyes or touch one another or go out to dinner or something. So I'm asking you, is there a superpower out there that you know about for a man or a woman?
That's your okay. Listen. First, I want to make sure you understand that's your cousin Sam and Chantel, by the way. That Don Lockett guy.
Okay. Oh, hey,
Those are
Sam.
your yeah. So listen. Like I said once again, to listen, being a man, baby, it don't take it ain't you ain't gotta be super nothing. Just to be a woman, you don't have to be a super anything. Just me and
Mm,
you talk about standing in your womanhood, being a woman enough to stand up and say, look, babe, this not working for us over here. Let's do this way. I mean, and me as a man to be receptive of what you're saying. We are
mm-hmm.
a team. We work together. We are here for the good of this family. So whatever the problem is, whatever the situation is, let's communicate it. Let's talk about it. Let's work it out. But men and women supposed to be able to communicate and talk. Just be a man and a woman in that situation and do what's best for your family, what's best for that situation.
Okay. So Miss Kim says, I believe both their superpowers is knowing who and what to do in or say the right or what to say at the right time.
So what is
Correct.
it? What tell me the difference in that and what I just said though, Miss Kim.
No, I think she was just commenting. She was just saying it. Right. She
Okay.
was just
I just
saying.
because I'm trying to just all I want to do is listen, we all have opinions. That's all we giving is opinions here. That's why we
Mm-hmm.
ask the audience
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah, but that's the
comment,
word.
like, share. That's why we do that.
Okay. So I think that this is, I think I'm at my last question of the night. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments because I think I'm at my last question. Oh, no, I got one more question. So we're talking about superpower because these are the type of questions that came in. So I'm asking them. So,
Hmm.
Dad, who
Hmm.
do you turn to for advice when you have a relationship?
Listen, I was told last week that you laugh every time Sheila asks you a question. You laugh because listen, I laugh because of some of the questions that are being asked. And listen, so I told Sheila, listen, so a lot of folks like to turn to their best friends, right? And so here was my comment to my daughter earlier was listen, so many people we have such a jealous spirit in people, y'all. We don't we people don't want to encourage and uplift one another to encourage them to work on it, to make it work. Try to make it work if you can. People don't like to do that. So best friends sometimes become so it's good to have. And so I said, if you got a brother or a sister that can, or a mother or father that you value their opinion, I think those are the ones myself. I don't think we should go to best friends because best friends seem like they have ulterior motives sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I
You
just my opinion.
think? But do you think so? Here and I'm going to answer this. And I mean, if people don't know on here, I'm a PhD candidate. I'm a therapist, a
That's right.
synergy coach,
That's right.
right?
Right.
But I feel like a lot of times we hold so much in, right? We just hold
Mhm.
so much in. We're not talking to nobody. You know what I mean? We
Okay.
ain't going to our best friends with the information. We ain't going to our daddies with the information. We ain't going to our sisters with the. We trying to figure this thing
Yeah.
called life out
Yeah.
on
Okay.
our own.
I
You know
like
what I
that.
mean?
I like that. I
And it's
like that.
like, and that it makes it so difficult to navigate. And a
Yeah.
lot of times we just need to ask the question. So, and had a conversation. Now, if you're around friends and not, it's jealous people in the world, and okay, we can't do nothing about the jealous people, daddy. And I
Okay.
get
Well,
your caution with
okay.
taking advice from those people. But it's
Right.
sometimes it's just like, so many of us is dealing with stuff, and who do we get advice from? YouTube? Like who
No,
we talk about community building, like
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
aunties
So,
and uncles? What are daddies at? You know what I mean? I'm
well,
asking seriously.
why? Okay, if you really want to be technical, then, babe, you know what they say. If you go to the word, you can't go wrong. If you follow that word, you
Mm-hmm.
won't go wrong. But now listen, when I say that, people gonna holler, well, they always throw the word in there, but the word is the way. That's the only real way to go is to use let trust God's decisions on. If you trust the word of God, then you won't go wrong because
Right.
you'll do it the right way.
Right, but even in the word that it say if you have an issue with your peer or something like
Yeah,
that, like
fault.
go to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
to them,
Take
and
it
then
to, but
if
you
they
take
take
it to
it,
more. Yeah, take it to more
you
than
know it
one.
do
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it also say two are better than one. Like I mean, so I'm saying so the word also say that like you can't do it alone, and a lot
yeah,
of us out here just don't have anybody to talk to, just don't have anybody to go
yeah,
to. So I'm
yeah.
asking seriously. Oh, and then so Sam said, Don Lockett said, go to your mate, and it keeps people out your business. I go to my kinfolk, such as your dad, for me.
Mhm.
Sam said that,
Okay.
Dad.
Well, I mean, sometimes, but he know I'm gonna give it to him real though. I'm not gonna. Even
Mhm.
with his wife, I'll tell him, listen, I know you love that girl, so don't do nothing crazy because I know you love her. So go do what you're supposed to do. If you made a mistake, baby, I made a mistake, and then I'm gonna give it to him real though. And even if it's her, it's the same way. If you can get through that thing, get through that thing. Make that thing work if you can. I'll encourage anybody. Listen, if you're in a relationship, your relationship is always with somebody that you trusted and believed enough to fall in love with them in the first place. So don't let nothing simple tear that down if you can help it.
Okay. All right. So my last question of the night, Dad,
Mm-hmm.
is: do you think behavior should be rewarded in relationships?
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you
I do.
think that behavior should be rewarded?
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
do.
so how should behaviors be rewarded, Dad?
Well, when you're doing the right thing, babe, when your husband or wife come home and they had a hard day and he's it's been a good week. He's worked hard, or the bills are paid, the house is clean, whatever it is. And babe, let's go to dinner. Let's go out to dinner. Take her out to a movie. Take her out to dinner, and let her know that you appreciate it. The fact, or let him know that you appreciate it. And if that's to me, that's the reward though, is showing that look. I know that this been a rough week, and you did, man. You handling it so good that let's go out to dinner this evening. I got you, or let's go to a movie. Let's go for a walk. Whatever it might be. I think
Right.
you should reward a person for doing good. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. So what about the people who like I ain't rewarding him? He's supposed to do that. That's his responsibility. He's
See,
supposed to go out and work. I'm just asking, Daddy. I
yeah,
mean, what
yeah,
about
yeah.
people who, or
Do
what
you
about
remember?
women? What
Yeah,
about women who withhold? What about
yeah,
men who withhold money or women who
yeah, yeah.
withhold this
Do
because
you
of
do you
whatever?
do,
Like,
do you
what about this dynamic of
do you
rewards?
remember earlier this week when you told me, Dad? Do you think that you said women, but I'm gonna say, do you think that people know, or do they understand? Like, I think the question has already been answered, but do you know, are we really truly ready for relationships? Are we ready
Yeah.
for these situations that comes up? Because listen, everything you telling me is that there are so many issues in the home, and I think Sam said it the best way, man. If you and your girl or you and your guy can work it out without any interference. When my granddaughter got married, you know what I told her?
What you
I don't
say,
want
Dad?
you to listen to mom, dad, granddad. I want you and your guy talk that thing out and see if y'all can work it out. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you allow somebody else in that thing, you're gonna have problems. It's too many opinions. Too many. You and him try to work it out. You and your mate try to work it out.
So you agree that you need rewards in a relationship. Miss Kenton said,
I
I
agree with
agree
that.
that we
Yeah,
all need
yeah,
rewards more
yeah.
and
When we
complain
do good
less.
stuff, that's right. That's right. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
And I
Yeah.
agree too. And I feel like, but I do feel like there's a conversation at a level of complacency. Like you should be doing that. Why am I rewarding you for doing what you already should do? Right. So there's no conversation around, and maybe this is, maybe, and I'm asking this question because I think people feel like this, like, you I'm going to reward you for doing what you already supposed to do. But what I'm hearing you say is like,
Mhm.
no, that's, yeah, I'm doing this, but I still want your attention. I still want you to see me. I still want you
Uh,
to,
know that I'm doing this. That's
recognize
right.
the
Yeah,
efforts that I'm doing it. So
that's right.
yeah, I
That's
mean, yeah,
right.
it's gonna be my, yeah. I know I got to clean up the kitchen, but you
Yeah,
recognizing that I cleaned up the kitchen, like, baby, you done cleaned up the kitchen and cooked all week. Let's go
always
out to
listen.
dinner on this
Let
Friday.
me do it. Yes,
Let
yes,
me
yes.
do it this week. You know what I mean?
Listen, though, babe. This is what. Now, listen what you said. I heard y'all say y'all give y'all kids a dollar or $100 for every aid. What kind of shit? What kind of mess is that? You because he went to school and got his education, you rewarded him by paying them for that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that's your job is to go out and get your education. I'm not supposed to reward you, but we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So how come
So
I
what
can't
is
reward my wife or my sweetheart for being nice and baby, you clean the house so well. You've been just this week been such a good week. I'm taking you. We going on vacation. We're gonna just take us a 2 day vacation this weekend and
Mhm.
just give you a break.
Miss Sharon said that part. Miss Sharon Brown. Hey, mama, Mama Sharon. That's Deidre, mama. So yeah, I do feel like we really need to start looking at rewarding our
Our spouse.
relationships
Yeah. Yes.
and
Yeah.
get out of the over and beyond the what is that
Mhm.
called? Like the thing of this
The
is what
Call
they
of
supposed to
Duty.
be doing.
The
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have love languages. Everybody love language is different. People feel loved,
That's
and
right. That's right.
when we
That's right.
start to show each other that we appreciate what we're doing, yeah, I know I gotta do this, but
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you can reward that behavior, I think it just makes all the difference and inspires different behaviors in one another. So I'm gonna go back to my original question, Dad. Thank you. That was 9 questions that I asked my dad tonight, and all the other questions that you guys asked. But we started off, Dad, with
Mm.
the question: Are we ready for our relationships?
Yes. And I said, I truly, I just don't believe it because it's too much. It's too much. We have too much drama. So now listen. So what does that mean, though, babe? When we say that, when I say I don't think so because the divorce rate is so high now. You got couples that's been together 40 years and they divorcing, babe. You got couples that's
Mm-hmm.
been together 25 years. They sleeping in separate rooms. This these are things. This stuff ain't supposed to happen like that. The old folks didn't allow nothing to distract their home. You don't let nothing come into your home and distract your family. You don't allow. So listen. One of the girls spoke earlier about her husband. She can't tell her husband certain things because she know it'll cause conflict. She didn't say
Mm-hmm.
she lied. She just said she don't. She just
She
don't.
didn't tell them.
Yeah, she just don't tell him. So now, what is that saying? That's saying to me that to keep that conflict down. Listen, I want to be able to go and tell me and you have this conversation every single day, babe. I just love you so much because you're such an honest lady you tell your guy, look, man, if you want to go have a weekend once every 6 months, go have it, and then come home and be happy all the rest of the year. And I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna question what you did, where you went, who you did it with. I just want you to go enjoy yourself. If you need to go out there and scream in the air, go do it.
Clap your feet up, whatever you
Yeah,
want to do.
whatever you
Don't do
want to
it.
do though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
go have you some fun. And if that's gonna make
relationship
our
better.
bond seal that tighter, then go
Yeah.
do that. I want you to enjoy that. I love
Yeah,
that, man, when I hear you say that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah. And I
Because
mean,
I
because
think
I've
if
been in
more women allow
relationships.
their men to be more lenient as far as let them enjoy themselves. Don't be so tight on the reins. Don't hold them so tight because if you holding them tight, you making them want to get loose. Now you allow, but if you let them have a little freedom, let them have a little. But it works both ways, baby. That's women or men.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Daddy. So, Miss Kim said he or she could be doing it somewhere else also. So why not appreciate them, give them flowers while you can. You can't overdose, or you can overdose of praise. It's good for the soul. And then Miss Sharon says she don't want no roommates. So don't want no roommate over here. And I agree with that, but I think that again, that would require, and I'm not saying anybody relate to each his own
To each his
relationship,
own. That's
how you
right.
want
That's
to
right.
build your
That's right. That's right,
relationships,
babe. That's right. That's right.
and what how you deal your home. I'm just sharing my daddy and my daddy's experiences with my audience and my friends, and I thank you guys for showing up with that. A lot of times as a therapist and as a coach, I run into situations and I try to give as much real life situation, but I think people see me through the lens. Oh, you the therapist or whatever. So the What Will My Daddy Say show is to really just kind of have a real conversation with my dad and show, like, hey, this is life from the perspective of a 72-year-old man. So I want you guys to one, thank my daddy, give him some hearts. I think he did an amazing job
Thank you,
today.
babe. Yeah.
Y'all
Well,
see
thank
us rocking our Sal tees. If you
you.
guys are
We
interested in
promote that. We have these. They are for sale. We got some out there, if y'all. We got small, medium, large, 2X, 3X, whatever. And how
yeah,
much are they? How much are they?
the t-shirts are 30, and then we have sweatshirts for 40.
Okay,
Yeah,
just a little small promotion, and it will be greatly appreciated, and it's for a good cause. And
yeah,
tell them that Cash App, uh,
and what
uh, dollar sign, 1235 F Smith.
he can't
What's
even
my
get it out. He's so excited. I don't know, Daddy. I'm gonna put the cash, his cash out. But anyway, my daddy be 72 next on the 25th. What does
yeah.
that make you? What does that make you, Daddy?
I'm a Pisces. I
Pisces.
am a
Okay,
Pisces.
a
Yes,
Pisces.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
So if you guys want to cash app him for his birthday, I love you, Daddy. I thank you so much for having this
Yeah.
conversation with me. And again, like I said, to each its own relationship. I do want to end with this quote though, Dad, before we get
Okay.
off.
All
My
right.
quote of the day is: when nobody around you seems to measure up, it's time to check your yardstick. Okay?
Oh, that's good, babe. That is so good
Okay?
because yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And
because what,
listen,
Daddy?
because and listen, and in your home, listen, nobody can take care of your home better than you. Make sure that you are doing your part. If you do your part, I guarantee you your home is going to be all right.
Right.
Whether
All
it's
right.
I'm talking that's male and female now, and single parents home work well too, y'all. They don't you don't have to and please don't be unhappy in nothing that you are doing. If you are happy, you're doing what you're supposed to do. If you're unhappy, you're not in the right place. If you're unhappy, just get out of there because that ain't no fun.
Right.
Okay, thank you guys. God
Andre
bless you
said,
all.
great quote. Miss Sharon said, amen. Awesome conversation. And hey, you guys, remember you go over to that Elevating Life with Sheila Little Facebook group. Join that for that Stopping Now workshop that starts on Monday, a week
On
long
Monday.
workshop to help you stop doing the things that are preventing
That's
you
right.
from having a relationship that you desire and deserve.
That's right.
Remember, if you can shape it in your mind, you can have it in your life. This is Sheila Little, your friend, expert leader in the field of changing lives. And this is my daddy for the What Will My Daddy Say show. We will see
Yeah.
you guys in March for our
Yeah.
next
Thank you. Thank you
show.
guys. God bless
I love
all.
you
All
guys.
right.
See you
Night,
later.
babe. All right.
Good night.